Hello everybody, very candid video here today with me. I have game audio muted just because there's a lot going on. So we had Invictus Launch Week, and I figured I'd wrap things up with a video talking about what we saw this week. Now, unfortunately, Drake Defensecon got canceled. In lore reasons, likely there's some legal issues and some finance issues that were going on, but also probably above table, the devs just were too busy. It's okay. This was my first Invictus launch week, and I was told that usually it's a big thing, and this year was really half-assed, which is unfortunate. However, that being said, I would like to share what I saw with all of you, and I'm going to try to do a third-person walk as much as I can, and kind of talk about where we're at so far with Star Citizen, like what I've thought of it, but also just take a moment to really look at all the stuff that was put up for Invictus Launch Week. Now, I won't be getting inside all the vehicles just because it's hard to navigate in third person. But that being said, let me switch around to first person. And I'm also going to leave a lot of things for you guys to discover if you guys come out into the verse. And of course, yeah, I'm wearing my Drake Interplanetary t-shirt, but also my Invictus Launch Week jacket that has, well, the year's logo on it. So that being said, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Get myself turned around here. So Invictus Launch Week, it is a week that is to commemorate the graduation of a group of people that have prepared themselves to join the United Empire of Earth's Navy, and also send off new recruits. Invictus used to be a base on Mars, and also the event of going out to go pick up all the recruits by the UEE was called Invictus. So this year, the rental schedule, is more what it was, but all the ships that were invited, and they normally rotate the displays per day. First day we had Grey Cat and Aegis Day. Then we had Origin, RSI, and Argo Day. Then Consolidated, Outland, Misk, and Mirai share a day. Then Crusader and Tumbril ground systems. Then Anvil. And then finally Drake Interplanetary. Drake Interplanetary normally does their own thing near the end of the week called Drake Defensecon, because they are not allowed to participate in Invictus Launch Week for some corporate or other weird reasons. They're just not allowed to come. And personally, I think it's dumb because, well, I'm a fan of Drake ships, just first and foremost. Second off, I mean, Drake Interplanetary was important for a lot of things, especially the Cutlass Black, which, yeah, probably the reason it being used as a pirate ship doesn't help, but it was very, very useful in the fight for Pyro, helping defend the citizens for prosperity. So that being said, today's technically the finale, but I was trying to enjoy Drake Day, and we went out salvaging in the Vulture, because why not? And I do talk with my hands. I need to stop doing that so much. But that being said, next time you guys come to Invictus, I'll show you guys what to expect. So we're going to rotate myself around here and kind of get myself walking. So over here is the wall of history leading up to where we are in current day. Talking about the history of Invictus, like what its first purpose was, to what happened during an era known as the Messer era. And then finally, we have, you know, what it's doing in current day. So, with that, we are entering the Bevic Convention Center at Area 18 on ArcCorp. And even though I'm wearing my Drake shirt, I'm going to strap my stuff and come on in. So, of course, opening up, there's all the merch for all the dealers except Drake here. So, like, even Argo, well, then again, Argo does even have just a spot on the Idris frigate. There is a lot going on here. We've got, of course, the uniforms of the UEE Navy and a reception booth. The NPCs, they're just doing NPC stuff. Don't mind them. And, of course, with that, I need to actually check my hydration and food levels. Oh, we're good. Awesome. We'll make our way up the stairs here. So, over here is a statue. I did take a picture with it before. You can't really, like, reach up to it. However, it's very fitting, representing the teamwork that is part of the UEE Navy. Of course, there are statues of all the other ships doing their things, such as the F-7 Hornets. The, basically, angriest little fighters in the UEE itself. And then, finally, we come over here. Over here talks about the recruitment center and, like, what recruits will experience. And also, of course, there's even testimony. So, let's go in. All right, and we go to this very, very contrasting ArcCorp elevator. Then we need to go to the convention hall. So, of course, the UEE needs to make a good presentation of itself. Because, you know, it's an empire, and there's always just, like, stuff that goes on with this that leaves a bad taste in people's mouths as well. So they open up with the biggest, flashiest hologram of the Idris frigate. And, of course, Gladius is flying by that you would have inside the hangar of the frigate. And with that, that's what you're welcome to. And just all the, you know, posting that goes on around here. We're gonna hold our head up high. Come on. So, we'll kind of make our way up and around. But, so far, for anyone who might be wondering, what have I been doing over on Twitch? Well, late in 2954, when I had really first started getting back in Star Citizen, I landed, like, right during the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo and an event called Save Stanton, which a group known as Slicers came through and started attacking Stanton. And I've talked about this in shorts. We go out, we push the Slicers back into Pyro, the neighboring system, and we are led to believe that we need to make sure that this doesn't happen again. So a couple of factions are making a plan to go over there. Of course, I'm with the Citizens for Prosperity. We're going there to help spread humanitarian aid and bring a little bit of order back with the wondrous, beautiful system that is Pyro. Pyro is a gorgeous system. It is just overrun by outlaws. It was mainly abandoned because of the star having a lot of solar flares and just causing issues, and just being stripped of all of its resources by a mining consortium known as Pyro Amalgamated. So then, of course, we were led to the fight for Pyro, which, with the Citizens for Prosperity, we went in. We went to deliver humanitarian aid to both the Headhunters and the Citizens for Prosperity, wherever we were told to go. And then, after that, we ended up having to go boots on the ground to go help fight the war. Because the Frontier Fighters, who had also joined, were all about just purging the system. No more nonsense from Pyro. And I wasn't a fan of that. I'm also just not a fan of the organized crime that is Headhunters. So the clash begins. We're fighting with the Headhunters. We're also fighting with the Frontier Fighters. And of course, it's me and my Drake Cutter going out, going boots on the ground, taking out the Frontier Fighters, and also dealing with some Headhunters as well. So with that, we'll take a quick break from the recap here. Show one of the first new exhibits that I just found kind of interesting. We have the Grey Cat MTC. So the Grey Cat Mobile Attack Center is a security vehicle. 2 people. A pilot and someone that sits in the jump seat and can operate the turret. Otherwise, the turret's operated by the pilot. And it can hold 4 1/8 SU boxes, 2 suits, and enough weapons for 2 people as well. It is very good for ground operations, just helping fill in the gaps where you need like a quick response to an area that's got a lot of need for anti-personnel. You know, I didn't go downstairs, so we're gonna have to go downstairs at some point. Then, of course, over here, we have the Star Lancer TAC, which we saw the Star Lancer during IAE 2954. It was released by MISC. Star Lancer TAC turns the Star Lancer into a gunship / dropship. It's a multi-role combat ship. And it provides a lot of different armaments for your team to work with. And from what it seems like, it's got a pretty good default setup for parts. And then the next ship to come out is the Guardian MX. Now, some people I had seen were talking about why would the Guardian MX be the choice here. It gives up the comforts for more power, more shielding, and it even has a nice armor around the dome, and it has 4 size 4 guns, which is equal to the standard Guardian that has 2 size 5 guns. But I figured out why, and maybe it's not so much I figured out. I have an idea to maybe why they did what they did here. It's so that way you can have a versatile setup on your weapons. So maybe you have, rhinos on top, attritions on the bottom. It's just a thought. So, of course, we'll just pick up the pace for just a sec. Come around. Now, some of you, if you've watched the streams, have seen the Anvil Valkyrie be of use to the Merchant Marines. This is the Asgard. The Asgard is the Valkyrie's bigger sibling that uses, well, that carries vehicles. It gives up all the personnel jump seats for vehicles. So I'm gonna do a quick fluid and food check here. All right, we're just a wee bit hungry. That's okay. But we're gonna keep on chugging along. Of course, we have the Aegis Titan. It's a courier ship that packs a lot of punch. That right there is the stock one with the Revenant Gatling gun and Omnisky cannons. Actually, yeah, this is a really good pace right here. Get that walk like you own the place going. There we go. So over here we come to the fighter hall. And this is going to be mainly all things small, fast, nimble, and packs a lot of punch. Unfortunately, the Cutlass Black is not in here, nor is the Buccaneer. But over here, we have the Anvil Arrow. We have I believe that is the original Guardian right there. We have, of course, the Aegis Gladius and the RSI Scorpius, and also the F8C Lightning. I'm just trying to remember what Guardian I'm looking at here. Because this is the one that uses size 5 guns right here. I think that is just like the Misk Guardian. And, you know, I might just grab a screenshot while I'm here. Then, of course, something else they're including, there was a little bit of a scuffle about paywalling these. These are flight blades. They are computer chips that you put into your ship to help make them run more efficiently. Actually, I might grab a screenshot of myself looking at these because why not? But yeah, so that's our fighter hall. That's going on over here at Invictus. And then we're gonna make our way on over to the next hall while we've got it going. And I know this video might just take a little time, but I just kind of wanted to ramble a little bit. But anyway, as we travel from the fighter hall to... Is there a hallway that takes us to the next hall that way? No, there isn't. So, anyway, as I was saying, we go on our fight for Pyro, where I ride around in, you know, the Cutlass Black. I use the cutter. I even use, you know, I even fooled around a little bit with let's see, what other Drake ships was I riding around in? I was also part of a Corsair crew for a little bit, but of course Drake was there all the way, and fast, really modular, and I was really happy with it. So we take our flight over there through Pyro, go and help fight in the war. And then the regen crisis, which is going on right now, has been happening. So Rayari wants us to go out and go find a variety of different things to help them with their research. Whether it be Copion horns, whether it be odd end items. Same with Wakalo as well. But like Wakalo is, I'm still gonna explore like Wakalo's missions. Wikalo. I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce their name. I'm a little rubbish on my Banu. This hall is very much all about the support ships here. Of course, we have the Argo MPUV, the Anvil Aerospace Pisces C8R, which I flew around in that a little bit. I do like it. And then the RSI Mantis is back here as well. All these ships are very much, while they are not themselves like the sole lead of a flight per se, they are great support members to the rest of the team while they are out flying around. The Mantis alone could just rip people out of quantum. So, what else do we have going on back here? Oh, this is something else I'm saving up for, because I do like Anvil ships. We have the Anvil Terrapin Med, which I do hope to get. It carries a Tier 2 medical bed. Personally, I really wish the Cutlass Red had the ability to be upgraded to maybe have a... Like, you know, you have a couple of options, either 2 Tier 3 or 1 Tier 2 medical bed. But that's just my own personal bias. I was really happy when I got to fly this around. Kind of reminds me of like the AVs from Trauma Team. Me being an avid Cyberpunk Red player, love it. And also, there's all these fantastic parts that have been put out for purchase. Highly recommend. For those of you guys who haven't had a chance to go to an Invictus or an IAE, go and check it out. Go pick up some nice parts for yourself. Then, of course, we are going to go and check out a couple of the other exhibit halls. I think one of them is just dedicated to Aegis's Navy ships. Because, of course, Aegis is the golden child of all the companies when it comes to the UEE Navy. With Anvil being a close second. So, we take a little walk up these golden stairs, and we'll make our way up and around. So the regen crisis happens, and some of the things they need are minerals that can only be found like in very specific places underground. So we get introduced to some spots that had been put in Stanton that are old Hathor mining sites. Or Hathor. Not sure exactly how it's pronounced, but it's an old mining corporation that was very unscrupulous about how they handled business. But it didn't matter as long as work got done, profits flowed in. So, we go to Hathor, and, you know, the Merchant Marines and we're all working together. I'm with them, of course. The Merchant Marines is my org. Love the crew. They're fantastic. And I cannot, you know, compliment them enough on all the hard work that they've put into making the whole org run. Is there a sign that points out what's going on back here? Not really. Okay. But yeah, they didn't put up a sign for the support hall. Okay. Well, we'll make our way across the convention center here. We will make our way across the event hall over here. So we'll just jog it out for just a moment, make our way over there. So we go, and I know I am rambling a little bit as I'm kind of filling the space as we travel. It is an absolute scrap for these Hathor sites and the minerals that are below the surface. Basically, it's a fight for keys to run a giant space laser that punches a giant hole in the moon. Yes, we shoot. We don't just shoot for the moon. We shoot the moon with a giant orbital laser platform to cut open a nice hole for us to get in and dig these minerals out. And we work with another group known as the Stanton Police Department. Shout out to you guys. Jinko and your crew, fantastic people. we knock that out, and then finally we go to turn the stuff in, make a nice fat stack of cash, and now we should have been fine, but it's not fine. It's Invictus Launch Week. We are now at current day. What ends up happening is, you know, I finally get to go to Invictus Launch Week, which unfortunately this is kind of what it's been looking like all week. This is like Aegis's ships. We've got, of course, I think that's the Warden Harbinger, which is their which is a heavy fighter. We have the Aegis Redeemer, which is a gunship that is just bristling with weapons all over. Over here is, of course, their big old gunboat, the Aegis Hammerhead, and I think that's what they have here. But I'll just take a quick look to see if there was anything else back here. I don't think there was. But that being said, Invictus Launch Week has finally arrived. The Idris has arrived. The Idris patrol boat, specifically. So over here, of course, is the Hammerhead. But it looks like those are like the major ships that are being presented here. What ends up happening is the Frontier Fighters. Those guys. The Frontier Fighters, mind you, during Fight for Pyro, these guys are bad people. It has been revealed that the Frontier Fighters are actually the Slicers. We actually learned about this in Fight for Pyro. But it turns out the Frontier Fighters are one and the same with the Slicers. Same terrorist organization that came through Stanton, started ripping up cargo haulers, and, you know, dragging me away from doing salvage and us doing, you know, other fun stuff. So we go to battle, and what ends up happening is somehow the Frontier Fighters have gotten their hands on a Polaris Corvette capital ship. Now the Polaris came out, or the Polaris, I don't know how you guys pronounce it. I've heard it both ways. The Polaris, mind you, gets some nice upgrades coming into this. It is covered with PDCs. It has torpedoes. It has big old cannon turrets. It's even got large bespoke, I think, size 6 guns that just pack a punch. Like, literally will just shoot small ships out of the air. So we have to hunt this thing down. Keep it from getting away. Which we do. And yet, I have yet to learn how the Frontier Fighters got their hands on this thing. Now, the other spot that we've noticed is there's been unrest happening at hospitals. A lot of the people that are at hospitals or clinics are demanding to know if their imprint for the regen is still working. And it's caused a lot of confusion. It's caused a lot of fear. So now here we are at the current day in 2955, where we are trying to fix this and save the galaxy from a regen crisis. Luckily, us pilots are okay. We still have our regen imprints for now. I don't know how long that will be, though. That being said, we are now taking this time to enjoy the Idris being released, which has helped with a lot of the bigger battles we've had to fight. So over here, the 999th Test Squadron, they this is their F-8C that Lightning that they got to test out and really punish to see what could be done with it. And I really like the paint job for it, which I'm wondering if that's a like very specific thing you have to earn. And then of course, last but not least, the UEE military also has ground vehicles, which surprisingly the Atlas Geo ends up on the on here. I think just more to show off that it came out. But either way, over here, just as a quick overview, of course, the Asgard is here to show like what it can hold. It can hold the Tumbril Nova tank. It can carry any of these. We have the Anvil. Spartan, Centurion, and Ballista over there. The Ballista shoots missiles. The Spartan is a turret, and the Centurion is a turret, and the Spartan carries personnel. We have the RSI Medical Ursa, which is also nicknamed the Nursa. And then also, of course, Tumbril's got their Cyclone buggies and Storm tanks, which are smaller light tanks that one person can use during the First Avarian Wars, but have been upgraded over time. They even just have their own shield gens on them. So, that being said, let's go check out that lower level. I actually haven't even gone to look, so we'll run over there real quick. But yeah, there's the F-8C Lightning. Now, let's go have a look at the lower level and see what's over there. I know, I'm running. I actually need to do a quick vitals check. Just a little hunger. And, oh, of course, military grade, well, not so much military grade parts, but so we've got stealth parts, I think some military parts actually, but not like high-end military parts. Quantum drives, coolers, power plants, like you name it. We even have ordnance. We have torpedoes. We have bombs. We have blasters. It's all fantastic. I love it. That's the Joker. That is very much used to shut down shields and other components. I think it's absolutely fantastic that we have cool stuff like that. Now, let's go have a look at what's downstairs. I forgot that there was a downstairs, but we'll go have a look. So as we make our way down the stairs here, we'll see what can be seen down here. Display closed. Witnesses are encouraged to... Oh. What was supposed to be here? Well. See, this is why you hire... This is why you get Drake ships. To defend the home. If Aegis is supposed to be going out and defending, and, you know, RSI and Anvil are supposed to go protect the, you know, galaxy from the Vandal, of course there's us Drake pilots who make sure the people at home are safe from pirates and ne'er-do-wells. But, oh well. Yeah, there's absolutely nothing on it. Armor. True Valor. Oh! But I can't buy this armor, can I? Oh, so this is like naval armor. Okay. Oh, right. Okay. But yeah, there is all that there. Then, of course, we have the RSI Ursa and the Tumbril Cyclone over here, which, the Ursa is like one of the first ground vehicles that we, and which are, is that the missile launcher RSI, or missile launcher, Cyclone? It is. I think that's the, yeah, the Cyclone anti-air. But, yeah, the Ursa is a rover that happens to have a turret on it, and then Tumbril makes a whole variety of weapons that, or well, not ships, but cars with some kick-ass weapons on them. I plan on getting a Tumbril for the rally, well, the Daymar rally at some point. But I guess that's really all there is to it. I really wonder what got stolen there. I would not be surprised if it's something that has to do with the Polaris. Anyway, with that, unfortunately, Drake Defensecon, you know, it got canceled. I would do a video about it, but I've got other plans in mind. But anyway, to all of you guys who have been hanging out with me on this journey, I do want to thank you guys for you know, supporting, you know, the channel and, you know, what I've been doing over here. I know Star Citizen is one of those games that has some mixed feelings about it. Personally, I've enjoyed, you know, running around with my friends through the verse, and, you know, kind of telling the story of, you know, the salvager who left home to go fight a war she was never supposed to sign up for. Then again, I did forget to mention there was Supply or Die right after Fight for Pyro, where I helped Citizens for Prosperity get a bunch of, you know, scrap metal back in their inventory. That's how I got a pretty kick-ass paint. However, maybe next year, supposedly, in an email that got put out there, Drake has made mention that they might, in fact, have something bigger and better for us down the road. We'll see. Now, you might be wondering, why do I talk about this from the Drake point of view? Because the Drake Cutter was my first ship. Now, I'm going to get over onto the stairs because, you know, I should probably do something that's actually safe here and not fall down. So, of course, the Drake Cutter being my ship of choice, well, it was gifted to me, actually, by a friend. I fell in love with it. I fell in love with the rugged, put-together aesthetic of it. Easy to maintain. So, with that, I hope to see you out there in the verse sometime. And as always, I'm not going to do the closing video that I normally do. Use my referral code. You know, the one, yeah. Right there. Almost got it. There we go. Right there. Yeah. Go ahead, use my referral code. And I hope you have a good day, night, morning, whatever it might be out there. Until then, friends, be safe, take care of each other, and I guess to my fellow Star Citizens, happy Invictus Launch Week. And to my fellow Drake pilots, listen up. I've got some big plans coming. Spread the word. I want to get as many of you on board as possible for something big. Until then, friends, have a good one. And of course, we'll have one last look at this hologram. Oh, my hair. It kind of glows kind of fancy here. I might have to get a screenshot of that. But with that, friends, have a good night, day, whatever it may be. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.